A charging company part owned by Tesla rival Stellantis and General Motors has gone bankrupt. This is what's going to happen to many charging companies. Tesla now has what you might believe, or some might call, a monopoly on the charging market in the United States. Now, Stellantis and General Motors, they're pretty well aware of that. And rather than fight Tesla, they've just let this company go bankrupt. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. It's great to see you. It's worth keeping in mind here that Stellantis and General Motors, they will install Tesla's NACS chargers on their cars beginning in 2025. So, I mean, if you can't fight them, just join them, I guess, is what GM and Stellantis are tacitly admitting here. As Tesla's NACS connector and supercharger network are gaining critical mass and obviously becoming the standard, Stellantis and GM's charging partner, partner is kind of a way of saying a company that they have an investment in, called Charge Enterprises, which is, well, interestingly, the person in charge, the president of this company, was a former long-time General Motors and Ford executive. Now, they've filed for bankruptcy. Is it a coincidence that the CEO worked for a long time for General Motors and Ford? I don't know, but doesn't look great, does it? The company announced its plans to implement a so-called restructuring plan, but the reality is it's just another fancy way of saying they've entered bankruptcy proceedings. Now, if you're wondering who their president was, it's Ford and GM executive Mark Leneve. He is on the executive team as the company's president. Now, Stellantis, who have just adopted Tesla's North American charging standard, and General Motors, of course, well, they partnered with Charge Enterprises last year to install EV chargers at 2,600, in fact, more than 2,600 dealerships across the United States. The company also installed chargers for Volvo, Ford, and General Motors. Charge Enterprises said it started polling creditors on its restructuring plan earlier this week. The company has a value of $114 million, liabilities of, well, surprisingly low $48.7 million. However, what I find a bit weird here is, General Motors, these guys are crazy. And it's the same company that invested in Nikola. There were YouTube videos all over the internet, all over YouTube saying Nikola red flags, they're lying. General Motors goes and just invests in them anyway. Insane. Well, it seems like maybe Stellantis and General Motors haven't done their due diligence on this company. The company, based in New York, provided end-to-end project management services in electrical, broadband, and EV charging markets, had a revenue of $132.3 million in just the third quarter alone of last year, compared with $185.9 million in the third quarter of 2022. Now, that's a lot of money, but as you can see, their revenue was declining significantly. Now, Charge Enterprises have laid some blame. They say that the problem is due to its dealings with investment advisor Core Acquisitions Group and its former chairman, Kenneth Orr. According to Automotive News, the company said it was scheduled to have access to another $10 million, which was held by Core Acquisitions, but when the company needed that cash flow, it was unexpectedly and unjustifiably unavailable. In other words, this company who was giving them funding has gone, hang on a minute, they're never going to be able to pay this back. We're going to lose this. They were right, and I think made the correct decision. Now, could something similar happen to someone like Nissan? Well, it sounds crazy, right? I'm saying Nissan, everyone knows who Nissan is. They're a known brand. Well, everyone said about Kodak, didn't they? Before Kodak went bankrupt. But Nissan's debt has a similar valuation to this company's debt before it went bankrupt. Its debt was classified as junk. Worth keeping that in mind. The company learned that the cash had been shifted to other companies affiliated with Orr. So that's what bankers do. They say, oh yeah, we were going to lend you this, but actually we've reassessed your finances and we don't want to lose all our money. So we're no longer going to give you that money. Charge Enterprises sued Core and its former chairman, but Core and Orr argue that the case lacks merit in that Charge Enterprises had regular access to account statements and that the firm has authority to use the money to cross-collateralize accounts. Now, I don't understand any of that, but anyway. The company follows a handful of other EV companies filing Chapter 11. So a lot of other EV companies have gone bankrupt. EV charging companies in particular, but also EV companies are going bankrupt. Now, Fisker are saying that they're pretty much verging on bankruptcy. Nissan say they're going to bail out Fisker, which is insanely ludicrous in my opinion. You've also got, of course, companies like Lordstown Motors who went bankrupt, but you've also got EV parts maker Proterra and Electric Last Mile Solutions, including our next Energy One. They've announced layoffs. You've also got the companies in China that have recently done a version of bankruptcy. They've been kind of reacquired by other companies. One of the biggest, in fact, the largest luxurious EV maker in China has recently just laid off all of its staff. Basically, that's bankruptcy. That's a way of them admitting to the fact that they cannot continue. But then you've got Jaguar. Now, apparently, Jaguar has sent an email. Dealerships have sent emails around to staff saying that Jaguar's plans are all a joke. They're all a lie. So I've just seen it today. The emails sent from Jaguar's dealerships. They're saying, okay, Jaguar said, we're no longer going to be producing any internal combustion engine vehicles in our factory. It's finished, right? It finishes, I believe, in a month production. We're going to just manufacture EVs beginning in 2025. Now Jaguar has actually revealed secretly in internal memos that those EVs won't be produced in 2025 as we'd thought. They will be produced in 2026. However, parent company Tata, based in India, are considering, apparently listing Jaguar for sale. Who do you think is going to buy them? Probably a company like Geely, most likely a Chinese conglomerate, I would say. Either way, there's some serious issues going on, structural issues, but keep in mind, it's very difficult to survive in the charging market. And I believe the truth is you don't really want to be a rival to Tesla in the United States right now when it comes to supercharging. They just do it too well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.